At home, 72-66.
We welcome those of you who just joined us here from New Rochelle, New York. It's MAC basketball, Manhattan and Iona. Two longtime rivals. Williams will shoot the three. Rebounded by Casimir. All the way to the rim, followed by Adogi. Couldn't finish the jam. Waterman comes away with it. 4-on-1 break the other way. Turner for Capuano, trailing Polycap, and he's fouled.
But how about the pace of this game, Robert? I mean, it has been up and down. Both teams playing with a sense of urgency and intensity. And you hear nice passing, and Polycap catches it. And if you're behind the play at all, and E.J. Crawford might have gotten all ball, most of the times the ref's going to call it because you're behind the play and you reach in.
It's also Crawford's second foul already. It'll put Polycap at the line where he missed the free throw. Crawford will have to come out. He's been Iona's top scorer of late. Deshaun Much comes in. And
it looked like all ball, but what I'm saying is that the bottom line is you can't risk it, especially from the very start. The refs are calling it tight.
Calvin Crawford, a senior, comes in for Manhattan. Also in, Abube, a freshman from Puerto Rico, checks in for Polycap, who has 3 points. We expected a frantic pace, and that's what we've gotten so far.
And we knew that going in. And Manhattan is peaking at the right time. They've got a bunch of veterans that are playing really well right now. And Iona's been there. They've been in crunch time situations to the tournament. Griffin with a nice shot. Everybody's shooting well to start this one.
Red hot shooting both ways. Griffin, his first two of the game. Nehemiah Mack, a freshman point guard, is also checked into the game. He has the ball.
And Iona here switching to his zone.
Williams a three. Strong rebound by Adoki. Manhattan has gone zone the whole way.
And that's their MO. They're going to play zone most of the game.
Capuano rebounds the Griffin jump shot. Williams turns and fires. Off the mark early on. Rebound comes out to Williams.
And that's the kind of shot that Steve Mazziolo doesn't want. He wants them to work the ball and get a good shot, not a one-and-doner. Iona can kill you off of those types of situations.
Casimir eventually stole the ball away. He's been very active early. Wide open. Deshaun Much for three. He got it. Third three-pointer of the game already for Iona. And a hot start for the Gales.
And that's what happens when you move the basketball. You reverse it on that skip pass. The best time to make a three.
Much, the senior from Rochester. Crawford attacks the rim and scores. First two of the game for Calvin Crawford, averages 8 points a game. Long stretch without a stop in play here. Both teams going up and down the court. Casimir shoots a three. It's good. Iona red hot, 6 points for Casimir.
It's interesting, when Casimir shoots, he almost looks like he's pushing the ball with two hands, and yet he's got the ability to put it in.
17 points in 7 minutes for Iona, a team that averages 80 points a game. An 8-2 run for the Gales. Crawford. Abube, the offensive rebound and put back.
That's the way to be in a position. And long shots means long rebounds. You better be on that weak side, ready to board. Now Manhattan, one of the better defensive teams in the back, and they're going up against the best offensive team. So it's an interesting dynamic, but Manhattan has really amped up their offense.
Casimir is fouled on the three. Mack the foul, his first. Hot start for Iona. They lead Manhattan by 5 with about 12 and a half to go in the first half.
And not to mention 2 veteran teams that we keep harping on that, but what we're seeing here are 2 teams that know what it's like to win and know what it's like to be there down the stretch. We're a week away from the MAC tournament. Everybody wants to fine-tune their game right now. You're not going to change a whole team mentality at this point, but if I had to pick 2 teams out that are ready to rock and roll, it's them.
Certainly the most experienced and successful teams in the MAC tournament over the last 5 years, these 2 squads. New Rochelle, New York, located about 20 miles north of Times Square in suburban Westchester County. Manhattan College is actually in the Bronx. It's just over 9 miles away from the New Rochelle campus of Iona. It's been a frantic start here for the Gales. Already 20 points after Casimir makes all 3 free throws. It'll stay with the Jaspers. Iona scuffling a little bit. Unusual for them. They've lost 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4. This is a team that's so accustomed to winning 20 games every year. They're going to have to finish strong to get to 20 this year.
And we talked to Coach Cruz about that, and he's pretty confident his guys are going to step it up. They know what time of year it is, and I think consistency would be great, but you're at the end of the year. So they've struggled with consistency throughout the season, but I think that they'll be okay if they can especially get this W here at home.
Would certainly turn their fortunes around a bit heading into their final regular season game at league-leading Ryder on Sunday. Idogi tried to rip the rim off, could not. He'll go to the line to shoot free throws after the timeout. Waterman the foul. Idogi will go to the line when we return here in New Rochelle. Per game. And that's been a trademark under Tim Cluse. So many times they've made 10 or more three-pointers. In fact, their top 25 performances in made three-pointers in a game have all come under Tim Cluse in school history. Idogi, the graduate transfer from Tulsa.
And Idogi has really stepped it up a notch, especially the second half of league play. He's certainly come with his athleticism. He brings the energy. And their front court has been really key in their success because their guard play has been a little bit more up and down than we're used to seeing this year.
Usually it's the guard play that's Iona's real steady influence, and then they see what they can get inside. It's been kind of the opposite this year. Jan Svanderlik has checked in. He was honored before the game, one of Iona's seniors. Williams pulls up. Good defense by Griffin. Much the rebound. Wide open Casimir. Up fakes. Offensive foul on Ricky McGill.
And no surprise that Zane Waterman taking it. He is one of the better defenders on the floor. Super smart. And does those little things even when he's not scoring.
Waterman's one of those guys you love if he's on your team, but if he's on the other team, you can't stand him.
Well, that's who you want on the floor, right? Absolutely.
Turner's floater in the lane. Polycat back in, comes up with a rebound, blocked. Gales will push. Griffin continues to be wide open at the free throw line. Polycat affected that shot. McGill, the top of the key three, is good. Ricky McGill with 6, snapping out of a shooting slump. Iona's already hung 24 on the board, 9.5 minutes in.
And we asked Coach Cluse about McGill and his mindset, and even though he's been struggling the last few games. He was very confident with us that he's going to come out of that funk, and every shooter does. I was a shooter, and you got to shoot your way out of it, and McGill looks good.
Cannot turn the ball over against this Iona team. So devastating in transition. And looking for more here, adding to a double-digit lead. Griffin, smooth jumper from the free throw line.
And you can't let Griffin catch and turn and shoot that without contesting. That is right in his wheelhouse. We've seen him make that shot all season.
Another turnover. So Iona off to the quick start here with a 12-point lead. Much quick fire three, rebounded by Griffin. Second opportunity for Iona.
And that happens against the zone at times. You've got no one to box out. Those long boards go out top.
Griffin flips it in. Timeout, Manhattan. We'll take a 30-second timeout with Iona's Tech in a Sonic blockbuster. Then fifth-ranked Duke hosts Syracuse at Cameron Indoor. Both games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. Kansas going for its 14th consecutive Big 12 regular season title, which would be an all-time record.
And Texas Tech beat them early in the season, but they've missed Keenan Evans the past couple of games with that foot injury. Such a fun player to watch, and not talked about enough, Robert. He is such a baller, and they need him back.
Texas Tech will be rocking tomorrow. Game day will be there. Griffin has been aggressive. Svanderlik quick fire three. And Polycap the rebound. And they throw it out of bounds again. Crawford didn't see the pass. And another turnover, and there's your guy, Keenan Evans.
I love him. I mean, he's such a great player, and their offense has suffered majorly without him. He's averaging 17 a game, 3 assists per game, so no wonder their offense has been a problem, but he is just such a terrific player. He's day-to-day with that foot, but they need him back ASAP. 6
turnovers now for the Jaspers here, and Iona with a 10-0 advantage in points off of turnovers. Much. Couldn't get the roll. Rebounded Dogi. Much to the rim, scores.
Now it started with TK and Dogi with the hustle in the paint. That extra possession where Iona's been able to capitalize on. You've got to find him and put a body.
Capuano has been hot from 3, and he continues that. 5 points for Capuano. Shooting 55% over his last 4 games, including 6 out of 10 from beyond the arc. That'll send us to a break. Manhattan trying to withstand this early Iona rush. Down 13 here in New Rochelle. Iona with the early 13-point lead on Manhattan. We talked before the break about Duke and Kansas both playing in prominent games tomorrow. Should be some exciting basketball action there at Cameron Indoor as well as at Texas Tech. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half in New Rochelle, New York. Wide open Waterman. Couldn't hit the layup. Gets his own rebound. Quadruple teamed and foul.
A good hustle by Waterman, just staying with it and absorbing the contact with 3 white jerseys all around him. And Zane Waterman is a stretched 4. He can step out, shoot the 3, and can get inside and mix it up with the biggest players out there.
A senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was a preseason first-team All-MAC selection, third-team All-MAC last year, over 1,240 career points in the top 20 all-time at his school.
Right, absolutely. An all-league player, could have even played above this in any conference really in the country. He can play with the best of them.
Casimir, another 3. It's good. Cedric Casimir's hot. He's got 11.
He's feeling it. You have to be there on the catch with him when he's this hot.
Check that, 12 points for Casimir. 6th three-pointer of the game already for Iona. Waterman is fouled. I think it'll be, whoa, technical foul. Zane Waterman is not afraid to mix it up. That's why I said what I did about him earlier. He's the kind of guy you love if he's on your team, but he's not afraid to get down and dirty.
Well, that's what makes him a competitor, and it's not a bad thing in sports, if you ask me. I mean, of course, you don't want to get thrown out, but, you know, this is just some competition. It happens when you get heated. I mean, these are two teams separated by a very minimal mileage.
9 miles.
It's going to happen, you know. Big crowd here tonight.
And it's interesting, because when we asked Coach Klus about the rivalry before the game, he said it's the best rivalry in the league. The fans are so into it. But he said there's really not a lot of bad blood. They just like to beat each other, but there's not a lot of any of that negative stuff. And you see, these are the closest rivalries in the league in terms of geographic distance. A little bit of temper spilling over there.
And that's all right. I mean, I have nothing wrong with that. I mean, of course, you don't want it to get out of control and get thrown out, but it's going to get competitive.
Kevin O'Connell just explained the calls there.
It's a common foul and then a dead ball contact foul, which means Iona shoots two. And I believe he said gets the ball back.
He did say Iona would get the ball at midcourt. It was a technical foul on Zane Waterman. It'll actually be a second foul of the game now. It's also 2 fouls on McGill with that common foul.
Personal foul on Iona, Ricky McGill, his second team's fifth. Technical foul Manhattan, Zane Waterman, his second team's fourth.
As Casimir, an 80% free throw shooter. And don't overlook that foul trouble. Crawford already has 2 fouls. McGill has 2 fouls. And now Waterman, for a Manhattan team that's not very deep, he has 2 fouls. And he has to go out of the game.
And we knew going into this one that this was going to be a messy game. It always is. You're going to see a lot of fouls. And they need Waterman on the floor. I mean, he's better off on the floor than on the bench for sure. But he'll have to sit out a little bit here.
And this is a dangerous territory here for Manhattan. They're on the verge of getting blown out of this game. Iona, when they're having one of those nights shooting the ball, they can run anybody off the court.
It's a pivotal moment here, how Manhattan responds. Without Waterman here in the game, can they go on a run?
Polycap rejects Griffin again.
And so much of it starts with Polycap on the defensive end, and then they've got to get him some touches inside because he is real springy. And I like this matchup, though, with Udogie. 2 very springy, athletic players.
Beautiful pass to Polycap, who was fouled.
And you can throw it to Polycap anywhere, and he is going to come down with it.
And count the basket. Tim Klus can't believe it. He cannot believe they counted the basket. It's going to be a chance for a 3-point play.
And Polycap catches it here. And the foul looked like he was on his way up. I mean, that's where I think the foul was called, was on that bump while he was on his way up. And I think Tim Klus thinks he called the foul prior to going up with the basketball.
6 for Polycap. And now full court pressure from the Jaspers. Casimir leads all scorers with 13 points. That patented weave action Iona loves to run. Casimir all the way to the rim, scores again.
It's been fun to watch Casimir playing like this because, I mean, we've talked about this in previous broadcasts, but he's had surgery after surgery over the last couple of years. 3 surgeries. He had to stop playing basketball the year before last. He had an incredible freshman year, and he's been a little bit slower, not the same explosive player, but we're seeing that explosive self back today.
Rejected at the other end by Griffin. Had a serious hip injury, made him miss an entire year, as you said. Coach Klus said he's really better off with more rest between games, and they haven't played in a week, and it shows here early. He's a former Rookie of the Year in the league.
You see that hang time there and that quick burst, that first step? That's the Casimir that we saw as a freshman, and you can see that spunk has really kind of come back as this season has progressed. He's just been inconsistent at times.
Crawford will shoot the open 3. Strong rebound by Williams, and his putback goes.
Rich Williams has got to get going, and he hasn't even gotten any looks today, and he averages 14 points a game.
Really playing well of late. Had a career high 2 games ago, 29, and then followed that up with 21 against Niagara. Only 4 points here so far.
Iona's done a good job on him as of now.
Such a quick trigger, and it's rebounded by Polycap. Manhattan trying to get back within single digits, down by a dozen. Williams scores again.
And that's the way to turn and look to shoot and be assertive, because that's something Rich Williams can do. He's a real competitor.
5th-year senior missed all of last year with an injury from nearby Brooklyn. Crawford bullying his way to the basket. He's fouled. Capuano his first. Like Waterman, Williams is a 1,000-point scorer, as is Xavier Turner, who actually has the most points of the 3 between 2 different schools. Turner checks out, and MBB back in. Mack in as well. Polycap will get a rest.
And out of all the seniors, Turner has given up the most this season, and he had to come off the bench earlier in the year, and there was a little too much pressure for him to score because he had to do a little bit more of that last year, but he's really taken the point guard role on this season and passed a little bit more.
Capuano the steal. Manhattan trailed by as much as 16 in this game. They've cut it back to 10.
They've done this without Waterman in the game, and that's a good sign.
Capuano, another 3, and the set shot is good.
His 3 looks good. I mean, he's stroking it, and he doesn't shoot that shot effortlessly each time.
He averages 4.5 a game. He's got 8 now. Nice look down low. Scored and a foul.
What a pass. Deshaun Much using that opportunity to whip it in. Manhattan's continue.
2 premier teams in the NBA going at it there.
And the Thunder seem to have the Warriors' number. They have been turning a corner in the second half of this NBA season, just starting to play really well. Kind of like what everyone expected in the beginning of the year with the trio of talent there. The big 3.
Roland Griffin to the line. Cannot complete the 3-point play, but 2. Jaspers fight for the rebound. It eventually bounces out to Capuano, who is Manhattan's leading scorer tonight with 8 points. Jaspers within 9.
One thing Manhattan's been focusing on, Steve Mazziello told us this before the game, is that they don't want to make self-imposed mistakes. So I think so far they've been pretty good in that aspect. They don't want to let Deshaun Much go left, for instance. They want to make sure that they're not throwing the ball away and beating themselves.
They've stopped turning it over after they turned it over quite a bit early.
I think they've been a little better the last few minutes.
Switching up the defense here, it looks like. Crawford will shoot a three, and he's found it. He banks it in. Chance for 4 for E.J. Crawford.
What a shot. He called the bank here.
It's Calvin Crawford with the foul. E.J. Crawford was slow to get up.
Now, E.J. Crawford has been a little bit off from the perimeter this year, but he does all the little things well, which is why he still scores and creates opportunities for himself and others. He's someone that Coach Clues really counts on.
7 points for E.J. Crawford. Just like that, the lead back to 13 after a 4-point play. Capuano. Strong drive and a score. He's into double figures.
Capuano has really turned a corner the last few weeks. He's playing with so much aggressiveness, and he's become such a weapon for this team. Even though he doesn't average a lot per game, if he can really turn it on offensively down the stretch here, then it's the perfect time.
This is only his 3rd game this season in double figures. He's got 10 points already in the first half. 5 on the shot clock. Much pulls up for 3 and buries it. Iona's hot tonight. 8 points for Much.
So good in rhythm.
And it was kind of clear early on, right from the opening possessions, that this might be one of those nights for Iona where they're just hitting from outside the arc effortlessly. Another turnover. 8 out of 13 from 3-point range.
Again, this is the time you want to see your players playing their best basketball. And that's why Iona, being the veteran team they are and being the team that has been here before, I expected to see this.
Iona back-to-back MAC championships. Looking to make it 3 straight this year at Doki. It's tipped out to Williams. Would be only the 3rd team in MAC history to win 3 consecutive MAC championships as Crawford steps into a 3 and hits.
And that's the best time to make a 3 in transition. Defense is scrambling there.
LaSalle did it in the late 80s. LaSalle was then a member of the MAC. And Siena, 08, 09, and 10, the 3-peat. Iona goes for that next week in Albany. Crawford, 9 points. Another sloppy turnover for the Jaspers.
And those are those things I was just talking about. The self-imposed mistakes that Steve Mazziello just wants his players to really clean up at this time.
Tim Klus trying to lead his team to that MAC championship. You could sense the confidence he had before the game, even though his team hasn't been playing super well of late. He knows that when they get to Albany, he's going to be one of the teams to beat.
And the target's on his back. The target is on Iona. So they are going to get every team's best effort. They want to try to knock you off of their horse.
Griffin pulls up for the deep jumper. Pollock the rebound. About a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
I'll tell you, he skies. The way he gets up.
Manhattan can basically hold for the last shot here. Down double figures. They've already used their use it or lose it timeout. So they'll play it out here with 8 on the shot clock. Extra pass. And it's Capuano. Much the rebound. 3-quarter court shot, and it's all Iona here in the first half. Iona with a 13-point lead as we get set to start the second half. These two longtime MAC rivals meeting for the 94th time. Iona leads the series 53-40. Iona has won 5 games in a row in the series. Manhattan's last win was in the 2015 MAC championship game. These two teams have won each of the last 5 MAC titles. Iona 3, Manhattan 2. And Ricky McGill picks up where the Gales left off. He's got 8. Waterman not in the game to start the second half.
And he missed quite a bit of the first, and he got teed up, and Coach Mazziello has had him out since. He really hasn't gotten much playing time, and that's why it's going to be a struggle for them.
4-on-1 break. Casimir pops the three. He got it. 18 for Cedric Casimir. Gales open up an 18-point lead. They'll have to re-inbound the ball. The ball never went over the baseline.
And this could be a problem for Manhattan. If they don't stop the bleeding here, this could get really ugly fast. And Sid Casimir has been just all over the floor. A nice job in transition. Spots up and drills it in rhythm.
Quickly, 5-0 run out of the locker room for Iona. Polycap's second effort will go to the line. Waterman got a technical foul in that first half. It was his second foul, and he's not been back in the game.
And that can certainly change things for Manhattan, as he is a game changer. Technical in the first half, I think, threw him off his game.
Polycap gets 1 out of 2. McGill the rebound. 7 points for Polycap. Crawford the corner three. Iona is red hot. 12 for Crawford.
Nothing like a little senior night to get you going. This crowd is in it, and they have just been hot from the get-go.
And Iona threatening to blow this wide open with a 20-point lead. Capuano, and a foul on the rebound to be called against Iona. It's called on Roland Griffin, his second. Iona has made a couple of threes already to start the second half. Down by 20. Biggest lead of the game for the Gales. A long 2-point shot. Fight for the rebound. Crawford goes down hard. Calvin Crawford. It's a foul against Iona. Casimir his first. And already 3 fouls against Iona with 18.5 minutes to go in the game. Polycap banks it in. A great story. Polycap bounced around from home to home when he was young. Went to some homeless shelters as Ndogi will hammer it at the other end.
Again, the response. The response by Iona has been phenomenal as they extend this thing to 20 points. And this is the Iona that you and I were talking at halftime that we've seen in the past, where they've gone on these huge runs based on their ability to score, especially from the perimeter, and we've seen that Iona of old here tonight.
Casimir finally misses Polycap the rebound. Polycap didn't start playing basketball until his junior year in high school. He played JV. As now Iona on the run again, but Capuano steals it away. Was all county as a senior, said he couldn't really do anything except dunk when he started playing the game.
He's a huge athlete, and that's been on his side. But Manhattan here really needs to slow Iona down. This transition game for Iona is just killing them.
Williams, the nifty steal. But Griffin digs it back out, and it's out of bounds to Manhattan. Ndogi rocks the rim.
How about this pass to Ndogi? All you have to do is throw it up high, and he is going to catch it. And Griffin with a beautiful assist, and then the throwdown. And Ndogi has come on so strong and been that interior presence for this team throughout the season. And now we see Zane Waterman back in the ball game, which is good to see. Since that technical in the first half, haven't seen him. He's only taken 2 shots, so they could really use him. He's a little bit rested.
Does have 2 fouls. Offensive foul, Waterman drawn by McGill, and those were the 2 players who got into it earlier.
And that's what happens. You sometimes, and I remember this as a player, you pick up 2 quick fouls and it throws you off the rest of the game, and this is just a slight little push off, and these refs, I said it earlier, they're calling it tight. They're not going to let you do much, especially in the guard play. They've been stressing that all season.
Waterman quickly back to the bench with 3 fouls. Jasper's trying to crawl back into this game, but Iona has been hot from the outset. Good overplay and a steal. Calvin Crawford gets in the air and passes it off. Willie turns it over. E.J. Crawford's 4-on-1. It's Much who tried to tomahawk it, and it's rebounded by Turner. Williams double clutch 3. It's good. Rich Williams with 9, and a big answer, a 5-point swing. Should have been a 2 at the other end on the 4-on-1 break.
And now you see the amped up pressure here from Manhattan, and you're going to see that continue. As their defense goes, that's how their offense gets flowing. So I really do expect to see Manhattan amp that style up. So that last possession, though, Deshaun Much couldn't quite put it in, but what happened on the other end was a three-point play. So that's the way to push it and pick your spots in transition. You can get back in this ball game with some 3 balls.
Crawford challenges Polycap, who fouls him. Second on Polycap. With 16 minutes to go, we'll step aside. End-to-end action, exciting MAC basketball.
A little bit, and I'm okay with that, but in that situation, I think he would have certainly said to make the easier pass and then the easy layup. You had a wide open look, but when you try to get too fancy, it turns into a bucket at the other end, especially you give up a 3. And to me, the lead is not quite big enough yet to get too fancy. But then again, had it gone down, it would have rocked the place.
It could really blow the roof off if that does go. Crawford with 14 points now. Instead, the lead is at 15. Iona has led for all but 14 seconds of this game. Manhattan did trail by 20 early in the second half. Now it's Iona in a zone look.
Yeah, they're in this 2-3 zone, extending it out a bit. And they want to force Manhattan into some perimeter shots. And I don't know if they see the shot clock here.
Down to 3. Capuano's mid-range jumper banks it in.
And he's been their big bright spot offensively from their guard play.
12 points for Capuano. Manhattan hanging around. Iona certainly dominated and controlled the game, but not out of reach yet.
That's what Manhattan does. You can never think a game is without reach, because Manhattan is known to come back.
Good passing here by the Gales leads to an open shot from McGill. 10 points for Ricky McGill.
Nice patience, and that's the better shot. You get a good shot, you don't force up a one-and-done shot, and you're going to be okay.
Mack the 3. First 3 of the game from Mack. Good pass into Crawford, kicks it out for a Casimir 3. 21 points for Cedric Casimir.
He certainly picked the night to play well. I mean, he was just catching, shooting with confidence, no hesitation.
5th three-pointer of the game for Casimir. There's still 14 minutes to go.
And And a big bucket there for Iona as they were allowing Manhattan to kind of chip back into this thing.
Williams misses the three, Crawford the rebound. Iona will look to set up the offense here with 13.5 to go and a 15-point lead for the Gales. Iona can finish either third or fourth in the MAC, depending on the results of this final weekend. Casimir misses, rebounded by Williams. Manhattan can finish anywhere between 5th and 7th. And that 5th is very important because the top 5 teams get a first-round bye.
Casimir is feeling it, and he's moving here to space. He gets a player closing out on him, but he still drills it. Calvin Crawford, who's pretty tall and lengthy, and yet he still finishes it because he gets it off pretty quickly. And if I'm Manhattan, though, I'm putting somebody on him wherever he goes because at this point, he can't miss.
Nice feed to Waterman. Missed the shot, but he'll go to the line. Foul is caught on Casimir. It's his second.
This is solid ball movement and a really great bounce pass. I'm such a fan of that. Xavier Turner utilizes it well. It hits Waterman right in the spot where he's comfortable catching it and going right up with it. So many people trying to force a chest pass. The bounce is always the better way to go when you're inbounding it into a post.
Waterman missed them both, but Crawford the rebound. Volleying it up and tips it in. Calvin Crawford. Excellent effort. He has 9 points.
And he's their X factor. When he can get rolling and do the little things and dominate certain areas of the game, he is so key for Manhattan.
Offensive foul. It'll be caught on Casimir. That's now his third. So Casimir, Iona's leading scorer tonight, has 3 fouls now, and he will go out of the game.
And that was Waterman who was there. I thought at first that they were calling that for Capuano, but Waterman was there. And Casimir has been a heck of an offensive threat tonight. So some other players will have to continue that.
Itogi comes in for him. Waterman goes to work on Itogi and scores. Zane Waterman with 7, and the lead is down to 11. Crawford trying to answer. Rebound Capuano. Manhattan can get within single digits here. Trailed by 20 early in the half. Crawford attacks the rim, blocked by Itogi.
He's such a rim protector.
All sorts of contact. What's the call going to be? Blocking foul on Capuano. It's his second. With 12 minutes to go, Manhattan is getting back into the game for trying to write another chapter in that story this year. Iona leading Manhattan by 11 with under 12 minutes to go. Final weekend of the MAC regular season. Crawford, the nice feed underneath, blocked by Waterman. Williams to the rim. All sorts of contact, no foul called there. McGill runs it down before it went out of bounds. Long pass ahead of Dogi. He is mugged by Waterman. Intentional foul. Now tempers flaring.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a flagrant one. Yeah, they're calling it intentional. Because he grabbed him. You have to go after the ball. So that's kind of a no-brainer call there. And St. Waterman, since that first team has been flustered, and the reason why Coach Rezzo sat him out was to kind of let him cool off, but you can't come down in his arms like that. That's an automatic.
Clearly more than a common foul.
Yeah. You got to go after the ball, and if you want to run free from a flagrant or an intentional call.
It is his 4th foul.
And this is from the first half, where this was a T, clearly.
He's an agitator.
It's brought out a bit of passion in him tonight.
He's been a key part of this Manhattan program. He is part of their 2015 MAC championship team, as was Calvin Crawford. Rich Williams is on both the 14 and 15 title teams. That's what he's always been. Tough, gritty, an agitator, a guy who's not afraid to mix it up.
Right, and I was talking to Kevin Ross. We were just texting in between before Waterman had come out, and he's their sports information director, and he told me that there was no problem with Waterman. He was just sitting him out because he wanted to cool him off. He's a senior. He's going to come back in the game, and for a period of time, he just needed to cool off, and he did. He came back in, but now the referees are looking at this last foul, and it was certainly an intentional
and it's
foul.
A key
and
sequence
I think he
because
tried to foul him, but you have to go for the ball.
It's a key call and sequence because the game's only an 11-point game right now. It's not like the game's a 20-point game.
And that was near the head, too, so anytime you're above the shoulders or near the head, I mean, that is a big-time problem, and they have called that all season.
Udogie was not happy with the way the play turned out. Very hot. He walked all the way to the other end of the court. So our officiating crew, Wally Ratecki, Ron Taberski, and Kevin O'Connell will talk things over. Will be Ratecki to disperse the justice here. I think they're going to bring both coaches together or talk to them at a minimum.
Okay, so here's the rule book for a flagrant one, excessive or unnecessary, and that's what we just heard was called for Waterman. It wasn't a flagrant 2, so it ended up being flagrant 1. So that's his 4th foul, I believe.
It is his 4th foul.
So he'll be out for a while. Now, because he's got 4 fouls and he's got to cool off a bit, it's been one of those games. And Iona has been able to kind of take him out of his game, which has only helped Iona throughout this one.
It's not just a physical game, it's a mental game as well. As Udogie goes to the line and makes the first.
And when we talked to Tim Cruz, he was talking to us about that. I mean, every time these two teams face, it's physical. And Iona's the one team that Manhattan plays that's fairly good at handling their physicality and the way that they defend. Not all the teams in the MAC can handle the way Manhattan pressures and respond well to it. And these are two really close schools. It's a rivalry in this conference. In New York State here, the city.
Griffin again rejected by Polycap in a foul. Griffin is determined to score on Polycap before the night is over.
And Roland Griffin here off the bounce, going at Polycap, and I think Polycap thinks every time he's blocking shots. Got a little body there.
3rd on Polycap. Actually, they called that foul on Rich Williams. It'd be Williams first. Polycap still has just 2 fouls.
And Roland Griffin, it becomes a matchup problem for teams because when you really think about it, when he goes in, the bigs that cover him have a hard time guarding him because he can play off the bounce, and then smaller guards have a tough time covering him because he can score inside. So I really like his versatility.
Ends up being a 3-point possession for Iona as Williams trying to get that all back with a chance for 3. Manhattan had the momentum before that flagrant 1 foul, and trying to get it back now as they've really gotten it together offensively.
They could cut this thing to 11 here. As Rich Williams with a nice job putting his head down, getting to the rim, and then finishing with the contact. And Rich Williams is certainly a huge deal for them. He has got to get that offensive arsenal going and continue in rhythm here for them to win this ball game.
Has 12 points. The foul was on Griffin. It's his third. He has to go out of the game. E.J. Crawford back in. Full court press for the Jaspers. Delicate balancing act for Iona. You want to keep your foot on the gas pedal. You also don't want to fuel this Manhattan comeback with poor shots. McGill banks it in.
And that's nice patience. And Ricky McGill is someone you want with the basketball. And he had a wide open lane.
Crawford fadeaway jumper.
See, that's a situation I would have given to Williams on that cut.
Great hustle there by Iona to come away with the rebound. Much pulls up for three. Crawford, the athletic board. Svanderlick the triple. Udogi tried to rip the rim off. Out of bounds to Manhattan. Thirteen-point lead. Iona has led virtually throughout. Manhattan has only led for 14 seconds in this game. Alley-oop, Polycap hammers it.
What a pass and finish. I like that play, that little screen, and he goes back door.
Cuts the lead back to 11 past the midway point of the second half. Keep in mind, Casimir is on the bench right now. He's been the Iona top offensive player tonight. McGill back-to-back scores. He's got 14.
That's why this lead has been cut a little bit tighter. You don't have Casimir, who was red hot for a while, and he's coming back in the game now. He sat out for quite a few minutes there. Will he still have that rhythm?
Williams heating up. He's got 14. Easy basket there for Rich Williams. Iona's done a nice job handling the Manhattan pressure.
McGill has had to work hard with the basketball.
How much of a nuisance is that when you're handling the ball?
It's tiring, let me tell you. If you're handling the ball and then being expected to score and play make, and you're exhausted by the time you cross the half-court line, it's not easy.
Crawford has an opening, stripped, and a turnover. Ooh, they might change the call. They will keep it with Iona with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Just 2 to shoot. Casimir back in the game.
That did look like Polycap touched it last.
If you're Manhattan, you've got to be ready for the Iona inbound play here. Can't give up an open shot with 2 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's where I would have been looking too.
Well coached. They knew what was coming. Turner steals it easily. Capuano, a big 3. He got it. 15 for Capuano, and the lead is cut to 8. Most tournament titles ever in MAC history. Iona has the record with 10. Manhattan and Siena each with 5.
And Iona has just developed that chemistry. And Tim Cruz, you just got to give him credit. He has built a system here where his players respond.
Griffin takes it at Polycap and scores easily. Extends the lead back to double figures. Griffin with 11. Jaspers continue to chip away at that lead. The time starting to run short with 8.5 minutes or so to go. Capuano has 15. He averages 4.5 points a game.
And Polycap looking for the ball. He's got to get a touch in there. He does have the size advantage on Deshaun Much.
Foul is called on McGill, and that's going to put Manhattan at the line for 1 and 1. Third on McGill. Both teams into the bonus now. Xavier Turner will go to the line. He's 6th in the MAC in free throw shooting at 81%.
the transfer from Ball State.
Has 10 assists tonight. That was his first point.
He's a playmaker and has that ability to get players involved, and that's where he's evolved this year. He doesn't just score, and they needed him to be more of a point guard.
Friendly roll twice. First 2 points of the game cuts the lead back to 8. Both teams have calmed their turnover issues. Iona with 9, Manhattan has 12.
And all this happened when Casimir went out of the ball game. He got that foul that sent him out.
Griffin couldn't shoot it over Polycap successfully. Polycap clears the glass. Casimir is back in the game, has a game-high 21 points.
And he had them on such a roll with his ability to stretch the floor, and Manhattan has chipped back in since he was out for a while.
Crawford, Capuano. Terrific rebound by Much, soaring in from the guard position.
And good defense. What a hustle play to get back.
Timeout. We'll step aside with Iona leading Manhattan by...
They've had terrific seasons as well, but these are the two most veteran teams, so I think that they're probably favored in that regard because they've been there. But it's going to be a fun MAC tournament. It always is.
Extra importance, as you can see from that graphic, to finish in the top 5, because the top 5 teams only have to win 3 times to win the championship. The bottom 6 teams have to win 4 times. Manhattan right in that 5th place spot right now. Iona's already locked up a first-round bye. With Quinnipiac losing earlier tonight, if Manhattan wins, they will clinch the number 5 seed.
Which is really key, and they need that. And Steve Mazziello was telling us that's the importance of tonight. And, you know, you want to get that bye. You want to get that extra day of rest. And trust me, it makes a huge difference. And when I was at Marist, we always got the bye because we happened to be a top seed, and that was always helpful.
The lead is 9 with under 7 minutes to go. Dump it down low for Polycap, triple teamed. Athletic rebound by Griffin. Chance to push it back to double figures. Iona has led for virtually the entire game, trying to win its 6th in a row over its rival. Crawford wide open. Williams the rebound. Manhattan has not won here at Iona since 2012. Iona's won 5 in a row in the series overall, going back to the 2015 MAC championship game. Turner blows by his defender, Polycap. Wow.
See, he's the man that needs to get more touches. He is so athletic and above the rim and springier than anyone on the floor. I just would love to see him get touches.
And he rejects Griffin again. Polycap. Turner, a huge 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Polycap. He's fouled. Polycap.
He's a special player. Getting better on offense every single game. An excellent defender, offensive rebounder. I mean, you've got to love him because he's a major game changer.
You just can't teach that kind of springiness and energy.
You just can't. And so, to me, everything needs to be run through him. He has that rim protection ability, that ability to make explosive shots and get above the rim. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. That's quite the stat line.
It was the 4th foul on Casimir, who will stay in the game with 5:47 to go. Crawford the rebound. 6-point game. Iona led by 20 early in the second half. McGill almost lost the ball. 10 on the shot clock. Much step back 2. Rebounded by Polycap. The 11 boards for Polycap, 16 points. His 4th double-double of the season, coming up on 5 minutes to go. Williams. And a foul on Ndogi. Trying to body up with Polycap.
How about his positioning? Polycap is in the right position here again. See how he turns, he boxes out, comes down, retrieves the rebound, and then he sprints all the way down the floor and puts himself in a position to get the basketball. And then this last play, he forces that over the back because he's in a good spot.
This is a player who did not start playing basketball until his JV year, his junior year of high school.
And Steve Mazziello said, quote, "We're lucky to have him. It's been 3 years since they've had someone with his caliber of athleticism."
Going back to Ramel Brown, a multiple MAC Defensive Player of the Year. He does miss the front end of the 1-and-1. Lead remains at 6-4 Iona. Casimir. 23 points for Cedric Casimir, which is a season high. Waterman back in the game with 4 fouls.
You go at him. If he's covering you, I'm taking it at him.
And Casimir steals it and draws the foul. That'll put Casimir at the line for 1-and-1. Turner the foul, his second. Cedric Casimir trying to extend his season high. He's an 80% free throw shooter this season. That is by far the worst mark of his career. A nice problem to have.
Yeah, because I would say that's above average.
Most players would give anything to shoot 80% from the line. That's actually the worst mark he's ever had. He was up over 90% for his career coming into this year. Silky smooth, 25 points for Casimir. And the lead back to double figures. Whoa, Turner knocks down the 3.
Interesting no call there, and I'm not sure if Casimir got bumped or if he just tried to sell it.
You got to shoot that 3 after that.
Nonetheless, Turner got a wide open look from it.
Casimir the answer with a chance for 3. 27 for Casimir.
He is so cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't even look like he ever gets ruffled. Nice in-out dribble. And then he finishes that pull-up jumper.
A jump shooter has been fouled after shooting the ball by Manhattan. 9-point lead for Iona as we come down the home stretch.
What a job just coming back into this one. Iona had a chance to close it, and they didn't. They let Manhattan hang around, and this is a close game.
Typical Iona-Manhattan game.
That's why we love it, right? The rivalry.
Robert Lee, Julianne Vianney with you from the Heinz Center in New Rochelle, New York, the campus of Iona College, Westchester County, just outside of New York City. Waterman. Turner's wide open. He'll shoot a 3. Polycap the rebound. Stripped. Much has it.
And see, Polycap can't come down with it where the little guys can grab it. He's got to keep it up high where no one can grab it. Casimir so feisty with that steal it.
10-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Nice lead for Ndogi. Follows it. And Polycap, lost the ball out of bounds. Polycap is going to win the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. It's very likely he'll win that next week. He's such a presence.
And he's given Ndogi a hard time. I mean, Ndogi we've seen play really well over the last few weeks. And he really hasn't gotten in rhythm tonight, and a lot of that is because of Polycap inside.
This time Polycap fouls Casimir. It'll be Polycap's fourth. Couldn't give up the layup there in that instance. But Casimir at the line. Double bonus for both teams the rest of the way. Crawford in for Polycap. Season high 30 points for Cedric Casimir.
They're going to do a little offense, defense here, taking Casimir out on the defensive end so he doesn't get in foul trouble. He's been so phenomenal on offense. Smart play by Tim Cruz.
Manhattan needs scores. They need to regain the momentum here in the final minutes. Down by 12 now. Turner has started to assert himself, and he scores.
Well, Iona was stuck on him, and he just lit up. Took him off the bounce.
7 for Turner to go along with 11 assists. Now, if you're Iona, you want to run some time off the clock here with under 3 minutes to go.
No need to take a rush shot, move the basketball, and get a good look.
Griffin muscles it in.
Such a high percentage shooter because he takes really good shots.
Manhattan's got to score every time down the court now. Come up empty there. Crawford the rebound.
And not the shot you want.
Really a score here by Iona probably puts the game away with under 2 minutes to go. Key possession. McGill, the open three. Ricky McGill, the exclamation point.
Could be the dagger, Robert. Definitely a big shot.
17 for McGill, and the lead is 15. Foul on Much. That is Iona's 12th three-pointer of the game. Turner will have 2 shots, but Dire Straits now here for the Jaspers. MBB in for Waterman. Iona 12 out of 22 from three-point range. Matt comes in, so with a 13-point lead, most of Manhattan's seniors at least have gone to the bench. Manhattan will play again on Sunday at home against Quinnipiac in a game that could very possibly decide the number 5 seed.
Another pivotal one. I mean, these last couple of games of the regular season are important, especially if you're on the bubble in the top 5 or 6 position.
In fact, from what I understand, if Quinnipiac beats Manhattan, they would have swept Manhattan, and they will get the number 5 seed over the Jaspers.
The head-to-head thing, yeah. I mean, it's tricky. So really, the only way around it is to win it.
Iona closes its regular season at Ryder on Sunday. Ryder is in first place in the league. Iona already beat Ryder earlier this season. Final minute coming up here with a 13-point lead. Turnover. Gales will not attack the rim. We'll run some more time off the clock here, and what will be their 17th victory of the season. Manhattan will fall to 13 and 16. Who knows? They may meet for a third time in Albany. Iona will sweep the season series in the regular season. Casimir looking to add to his total.
What a game Casimir had. I mean, he won this ball game with his tenacity, his willingness to stroke the ball, and he just shot with so much confidence. I mean, yeah, he got some help. They scored, they're up near 80, 90 points here, but he had 30.
Capuano a three. Gill the rebound, and that should do it. Iona leads almost the entire game and uses strong three-point shooting, as they so often do, to beat arch rival Manhattan for the 6th time in a row. 88-75 the final.